Hello everybody, this is DeMarr here, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the MPP world. Okay, this is the deck that was right before they had all the announcements, and you'll notice that it says $395, which is now the package, the middle package, the business package or the marketing package that we have. And so what I did is I created 6 cards that can be used so that it fulfills or upgrades the presentation. You still use these cards; they work great. You don't have to miss a beat on it. So what I did is I created those cards right here. So what I did is I put the golden question, the 3 packages, and then I put the 4 types of people, and then I put how to get started. I mean, if you had what I call the now question. And so I put the disclaimers, and there you have a new full deck. And I'm going to show you how I use it. So first of all, I always talk about the disclaimers. I read them, especially after the things that have been happening in the industry. Then I remind them of the question. I usually text this question to them, and I teach people how to do that every day. And so then I remind them that that's the question I asked them, that they were interested, they wanted to see it. Then what I do is I demo the phone. So I go ahead and go to the app and I demo it, and so so that they can see what's going on with how it works, how the concept works, all that kind of stuff. So I make sure that I do that and show them the app. Then I ask them if they want to. Now they want to see the money. They'll say yes, 99.9% of the time. And then what I do is I say, listen, I'm going to talk to you about first one package. We have basically 4. We have 3 of them that have some very significant items in it that you may need as a business person, as a mom, a dad, whatever, And so what I do is we have a good, better, and best. I got that from Casey Everhart. And then what I do is, and I say we have our basic package here, so we have our subscription and then 3 packages that you can choose from. And what I do is that this pays half, whatever this pays half of that, and whatever this pays, it's double of that. And so I'm going to say this is the most common. If you take all the packages and you average them, this would be the package that a lot of people get. So I put this aside, and I'll say I'll come back and explain a little bit more at the end. I say, so we're going to do everything based on this package right there. And I say, so what's going to happen is that you come into the business, you become a distributor for $50. And then you buy this package right here. And when you buy that package, as a distributor, you can now go and share it with other people. So what you do is you demo the phone. So I show them how they can demo the phone. And I have the app that I show them, and then I says, and then because you're a distributor, you demo it, and you can make money when people purchase any of the packages, and when they and a residual anytime that anybody uses the system. And then what I do is I go, you can make up to 30%, but just on your customers you make 20% off their monthly subscription volume that they create. So if you go out and show it, and I say you're going to get more customers than you ever do reps. That's just the nature of it, because we need to get customers. As you start to show and demo the app, people are going to want to use the service. You're going to use this presentation to do it, and people are going to want to use the service. Some of them are going to want to be distributors. If you find 3 people to sign up as a subscription, now they may buy 1 of 3 of these packages, one of these 3. Let's say someone buys this one, someone buys this one, someone buys that one. But if you do that, you get paid the commissions off of this, plus because you did it in 3 days, the company's going to pay you $50. Now here's the cool thing. There's people like you and I that are interested in money. And so what happens, making money either, different ways, but this one right here, this person, he buys a $395 package, and he also or she also decides to become a distributor. So they become a distributor, and they pay that package. Just because they bought that $395 package, the company's going to pay you a commission of $140 for that package, that customer package, that basic, that marketing package that they bought for their business or for themselves, whatever they want to call that. When you bring someone else in the business, or when you bring someone else and they buy that package, and then the company's going to pay you $140. Okay, they attach a $50. Now they're a distributor. and now you can make some leverage money off of them. And then the third person comes in that wants to do the business. It buys the $3.95 package. Again, this is for illustration, and these numbers, it would be half on this one, and it would be double on this one you would make. And so in this case, it would be 70 if they all bought the $3.95 or the $195 package. It would be $280 if they bought the biggest package. And there's a lot of businesses and stuff that would like that package. So what happens is that you make the $140 off those people. You also got all your money back and then some. So you made your money back. Now you've got a first promotion. Now I always go this way because that's how the plan works, and it builds down depth. If you go down deep with these other people, it makes it look like the other people are sponsoring them. So I show them this, and I say, now, if you found 3, you probably can find more if you keep sharing send-out cards. Ask the golden question, and then demo the app, and then show these deck of cards the money. So what I do is I show them that, and I say, okay, now, the next person you bring in that pays the $3.95 and attaches themselves as a distributor, this time the company's going to pay you $240. Now, if they bought this package, it would be double that. If they bought this package, it would be half of that. And so that's just what I do. And then I just say, okay, the next person that comes in, again, another $140. Okay, so now you've got, $240. Now you've got $240 off these next 3 people. Now, what do these people want to do? The same thing that these people want over here, but I'm going to illustrate that because of the raise, you also get a raise on the people going down through the organization. I'll show that. So let's say this person goes out and finds 3 people. Okay. Actually, I meant to do one more. There should have been one more here because you get paid the $190. Actually, you get this. Sorry, I'm going a little fast, but you get paid that. So that's what would be laying down there. Say this person wants to go out and find 3 people. So he finds 3 people. Now, what happens? He gets that $140, but because you're a manager, you're going to make $100 off of each one of those. Now, what does these 3 people want to do? They want to go find 3 people. So when they go and find 3 people, because they're in your downline organization, in your manager group, you're going to get paid $100. And I go through that presentation all the way down. Then this is when I bring out these 2 things. Okay, remember this group over here? They're all trying to get 3 customers and get their money back, and 3 distributors who get 3 customers and 3 distributors. And we call that a 3x7 organization. Now, most of the time, not most of the time, it'll never work out this way, but let's just use this for illustration purposes because everybody's trying to get 3 customers minimum, and they're trying to get 3 people. So let's say that they all do that. It goes down 7 levels. Well, you see there, if that were perfectly geometric, you'd make $16,267. It's not going to do that. Remember the disclaimers that I showed you? It's not going to do that. It's based on your efforts and the efforts of other people. But you could have an average of 3 customers on the number of distributors you have, and then you could calculate that organization. And are there people that have over 3,000 people and send out cards? Yes. Does that mean you're going to? No. It depends on your effort and the energy that you're going to do. But let's just use that card right there, for example, show you the illustration between as you start to develop how much more money you make. If that same thing happens over here, these people are doing that, you get the upfront money, and also you make additional 5%, so that would be $36,000 that you would make off this group if it grew perfectly geometric, and it won't, but let's say it did. And then you have another group, and you can advance more times, 3 more times, and you can really create some significant income, depending on your efforts and the efforts of the people you bring in. So once I've done that, okay, I've showed them that, and I'll say, listen, you've seen a lot of here. And again, I told you that there's 3 packages. You can choose to get involved in any of those packages as a customer or as a distributor. And then what I do is I just say, listen, there's really just 4 types of people that want to use our service and be a part of us and want to participate. Those who just want to be customers. They don't want to do any of this stuff. They just want to use the service. And they can get on a $39 subscription and pay any one of those prices for any one of the packages that they can have. Referral partners, those are people that don't mind buying this and becoming a distributor, and then as they refer people, we help them get those people in, and then they make commissions, and so do we. They become a distributor. They just aren't as active, and they're very passive. The third type of person is someone who just wants to make part-time income. They're interested in creating some long-term, part-time, substantial, car payment, a house payment, that kind of stuff. And then there's people who want to replace their income. That was me. I was interested in that. And this is where I tell my story. When I got involved in it, I originally wanted to just be part-time. And then I talked about how I started building it. It became a full-time income for me. Even though I was working at part-time, it became full-time because I did it consistently. And that's where I tell my story. Some people like to do it at the front. I like to do it at the back end and tell my story. And then at the very end, what I do is I say, now, you know the different people that like to join us. If you are interested in not joining us, if you had to make a decision today, which one of these packages would you want to be involved in? And would you want to be a distributor? If you want to be a distributor, which one of the packages would you want to? And then what happens, I just shut up and wait. And they'll tell you, well, I want to do this, but I'm not ready. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The question you're asking is a closing question, which is one of the hardest things for most people to do. But because you've got a card here and you explain the types of people, it's really easy. In fact, you don't even have to say it. You can just give it to them and ask them to read it, which a lot of people do. But this is the hardest part for people to do, is a presentation, doing a demo, and this. Now, let me clarify that. In the industry, it's a hard thing to do the presentation, which is just a demo. You're showing them, you're actually going to send them a card with a box of brownies. At least that's what I do. And then I'm going to ask them if they want to see the money, and I'm going to pull out my deck of cards, and this is what I'm going to show them. The third hard thing to do is to ask a question that gets people enticed. People are interested. They'll use the product. They'll do that kind of stuff. They want to do it. But we've created a question, and Jordan has a great questions too that he does with text and stuff. But this question is really easy, especially if you know what kind of phone they have. This is an iPhone 6, a Samsung 6. I would say this: if I could show you a way to make money with your Samsung 6, sharing an app that people love, absolutely love to use, would you want to see it? And if they say yes, then they're interested in taking a look, and I'll go through the whole presentation. So asking that question is very, very hard. That's why we call it the A in the APA. Presenting is very hard. For most people. Not that it's hard, it's just not, it's really easy to do, simple to do. It's just that it's hard sometimes in your mind. And the last question is that if you had to make a decision, which one of those would you be? So the APA is, there's basically 5 steps active steps in building a business. Number 1, you being a product. Number 2, building a list, which you already have in your phone. And now it's just inviting them. And then the second thing, or the third thing is to present. The fourth thing is follow up. And the last thing is to ask the question that's going to give you an answer. The interesting thing is people will use the product. They'll make a list because they already got it. But they have a hard time inviting. They have a hard time presenting. And they don't have a hard time following up. It's easy to follow up. You just send cards and you know that kind of stuff. But the other hard thing is to ask the now question, or ask the question that's going to give you the answer that you're looking for, either a yes or no. So that's what the A is. So if you take the A, P, and then A, that's what the APA is, and that's what we try to teach people, is the fundamental things that are hard to do. We're teaching you in a simple presentation right here by demoing the app, asking a question, demoing the app, showing the deck of cards here, and now we've added those 6 cards that you can get if you just go to the website that's listed on this YouTube video. You can go ahead and the link that's there, and you can go and order your 6. If you've got 4 or 5 decks, you can order more, but you can get those. So those 6 will come in the mail, and you'll get those we just barely got them in. So everybody that's already ordered them, they're going out today and tomorrow. And anybody if you order them today, they'll go out today and tomorrow too. So anyway, that's how it is. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me on Gone Mobile.